Hey guys, welcome back to the last part. This is part 4 of our Healing with Des and Childhood Trauma and Wounds. Show you the card. Alright, my name is Des. I'm an oracle and a tarot reader, and I channel messages and work with my ancestors to help guide you around self-love, self-healing, and anything else that Spirit wants to talk about. Now, I know a lot of you might just want to dive straight to the end and run to the end and the sprint to the finish line instead of looking at all the other parts, because there are quite a few parts to this particular series, and that's okay. But I would recommend that you go back to the beginning, because I just want to make sure that all my checks and balances are in place for you. Childhood trauma and wounds, as we know, is not a light topic. It can be very triggering, so I just kind of give a bit of context and a build up towards this before we just dive straight into the work. But let's just do a recap of the cards that I've covered already, and hopefully this will be enough of a teaser for you to want to go back to part 1 and look all the way through to the end. Okay, so the Warrior card has come up. These are my self-healing oracle cards. Then Cleanse, and I talk about how you can do that. We talk about the strength side of what it is that you need to find. We talk about the trusting the process. We talk about the introspection and that inner work that you need to do. And now where I'm up to is about Nourish. Okay, so when you're going through this journey of self-love and self-healing, it's all about nourishing your mind, your body and soul. So how are you doing that? Well, it could be that your spiritual side is going to see a tarot reader or watching TikTok tarot readers like myself, for example, or you might go to church. It's whatever fills your cup spiritually, okay? There is no right way or no wrong way, and you can do more than one, you can tap into more than one different source in terms of that spiritual guidance and advice that you're after. In terms of the physical and, the mind side of it, okay, it's about, I didn't suggest this earlier, but this is kind of good timing now to raise this, but there are so many great resources out there that are free. So if you're looking for more and to dive deeper on the self-healing and self-love journey, there are podcasts that's available. They're on Spotify, they're on Apple Podcasts. There's just so many things out there. We are spoilt at these times for all the resources that are free to us at this time if we would like to dive deeper into this journey and get more advice. If TikTok isn't enough for you, go and read some books, go and listen to some podcasts. And then obviously, and this is something that's really close to my heart as well, is exercising and moving your body, and that really helps with clearing blockages as well. So it's about nourishing all parts of self so that you can come back into alignment and really be able to handle the things that come up for you around childhood trauma and those wounds. Now, the Measured card has also come up. Measured as in, it is not a race, okay? You do not need to sprint to the finish line. Okay, you don't need to hurry and rush through things. You will arrive when it's time to arrive at your destination, okay? This is for many of you, because this is so deep and you've been living with this shame, this guilt, this vulnerability, all these things that trigger you, perhaps some self-sabotaging behaviours, perhaps some toxic behaviours, perhaps a lot of shadow sides of yourself have come out that you're not proud of. So that's why it is not a rush. That's why it's a spiritual journey. That's why you need to be measured in your steps and just deliberate, okay? Because when we're more deliberate, to be deliberate, we have to slow down and take time so that we can be precise in our steps that we're taking forward, okay? We can calculate. And in order to do all of these things by being deliberate, by being measured and precise in our steps, we'll calculate more carefully and exercise more caution when we slow ourselves down and rein ourselves back in a bit, so that we're mitigating and removing as much risk as possible, emotional risk, financial risk, all of these things that could just blow up our plan and blow up our journey, and therefore we end up having to restart and reset again. And if it happens, then that's okay, because that could be part of the journey as well. Oh shit, I fucked up. All right, back to square one, back to the drawing board. What do I do? What happened for me to, I don't know, go off on a 3-day bender because I couldn't handle what came up? What happened for me to break no contact with a person that continues to hurt me, that continues to disrespect me? What is it that I need to look at deep inside myself that attracts me and calls me back to this person that continues to disrespect me and hurt me? Okay, so it's about addressing all of those things, looking at the big, the bad, the ugly, so that we can get to the pretty, the beautiful and peaceful, stable side of ourselves again, and be more consistent on that path and that journey instead of this chaotic way of being. Make sense? And then the last card, which is a really nice card to finish on, because the time of year, and also we're coming out of Mercury retrograde soon, which is on the 15th of December, and we're wrapping up the end of the year in order to go into the new year. So this is so relevant, okay? This is new cycle, an evolution, a turning point, okay? So for many of you that do address all of these past traumas and wounds, and you know, all of our traumas and wounds are all different from each other. So, you know, someone could have had something extreme and you'd think, if that happened to me, I'd probably die. Like, I would die. Or you might look at somebody else's trauma and go, that's not a trauma. That's not anything to worry about. Everybody's on their own path and their own journey. You know, it's not us. It's not up to us to judge or to work out how severe theirs is and do some sort of comparing notes. It's not about that. It's just about you going inward and focusing on your own journey, and never to compare or judge somebody else, because you haven't walked in their shoes, okay? All right, so let's finish up on this. This is the last part. This is about the new cycle. So when we've done all that work on ourselves and addressing all of these fragments and polishing them up, knowing that they exist, they're there, that we are the person that we are because of our past, our history, and all these traumas that have happened. And when we've looked hard and steady and gazed at these things, and therefore done that internal gazing within to work out what it is, we start a new cycle within ourselves. Now this new cycle is also about, well, you've broken the chain. You've stopped a cycle. When you do that, you also heal your past generations. Remember, if something terrible has happened to you within a family dynamic, that whoever did something or offended you or caused this trauma, this is why I say don't judge. They experienced it probably at another level with someone else within the family, okay? So they're just doing, and they've just done what they've done to you and inflicted this woeful behavior or this thing onto you because that's all they knew. So when you heal yourself and go off into this new cycle, go into it with the feeling and the thought of, I've now healed the generational trauma by breaking the cycle. And you've broken the cycle because for your future generations, like if you've got kids or if you're helping other people that have got kids, and it has a ripple effect. So not only are you healing the grandmothers and the grandfathers from the past, you're healing the grandfathers and the grandmothers in the future from your generations that you've created and put out and birthed into this world. So there you go, whānau. That's it on childhood trauma and wounds. And look, that's like a really light and on the surface approach, because like I say, I'm not a trained professional, but I believe that my healing cards are really great tools for you to consider and ponder upon, to think about your own journey of self-love and self-healing. And if no one's told you today, and just in case no one tells you for the rest of your day, I love you, and have a really great and wonderful day. And I only want the best for you with my readings. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one.